This boy awakened the strongest healing ability, but his life quietly turned into a living nightmare. And instead of being praised, he became the favorite training toy of the tyrant at the Ability Academy, torn apart day after day by countless powers that ripped through his flesh without mercy. His body shredded again and again, and although his regeneration closed the wounds and rebuilt his broken skin, the agony of bones twisting and snapping never faded, and Ahao felt that torment as if death brushed against him every single time. Yet watching him covered in scars only thrilled the bully more, who believed that the deeper the wounds he carved into Ahao, the stronger his own ability proved to be. And Ahao had once tried to seek help from teachers and even the police, but they looked at his battered state without the slightest sympathy, because in this world, wormholes had split open everywhere, and terrifying monsters poured onto Earth from every direction, leaving humanity to survive only because awakened hunters with powers fought back. So those who possessed strength naturally enjoyed privileges, and that cruel reality crushed the weak without hesitation. Yet Ahao held on to one fragile dream of becoming a hunter himself, and that dream alone stopped him from ending his own life, because he had a mother who had sacrificed everything for him, a woman who had raised him alone after his father died in an accident when he was young, enduring endless hardship just to keep him alive, and for her sake, he swore that even if he had to crawl through hell, he would endure until he graduated from the academy, because even becoming the lowest-ranked C-class hunter would allow him to earn commissions and finally give his mother a better life. But that single thread of hope shattered on the day of her birthday, when he saw her lying miserably in a hospital bed, and something inside his eyes ignited with a rage he had never known before. Because earlier that day, the group of bullies had gone to the restaurant where his mother worked, and the diamond-powered leader had flaunted his crystallized ability in front of her, shamelessly trying to force her to go out with him. And when she refused and accidentally knocked his phone to the floor, that scum stabbed her through with a diamond spike in a fit of anger. And though he later claimed it was an accident, Ahao, who had personally suffered his cruelty, could not accept such a lie, because how could such coincidence exist when all he had done was endure silently and still? The abuse only escalated, and in that moment something inside him broke completely. So he found the bullies hunting outdoors, laughing and mocking his mother as if it were nothing, and Ahao screamed at them, demanding to know why they had treated his mother that way, cursing them as worthless trash. And the diamond boy looked at him with fake innocence and shrugged as if surprised, saying he only thought the woman looked attractive and wanted to chat with her, as though it were harmless. And Ahao's fury exploded, and without hesitation he grabbed the long diamond spear lodged in his own chest and began pulling it out with both hands, pulled it out inch by inch while blood sprayed everywhere. And as soon as it left his body, his flesh regenerated in a horrifying display of bone and muscle rebuilding itself. But he did not care about pain anymore. He only wanted to kill him. Yet the bully raised a hand and summoned countless diamond spears that stabbed Ahao over and over until his body was nothing but holes. Lightning from another friend struck him from the sky, slamming him to the ground. But even then he crawled forward, gripping the bully's leg and demanding an answer. And the diamond fist smashed his skull again and again while he bit down on that glittering hand, refusing to let go. And just then, a red wormhole of the highest danger level tore open beside them, energy exploding out. And instead of reporting it, the bullies laughed, thinking of a better idea, and the diamond boy shoved Ahao straight into the red portal. And as he was swallowed by that bloody gate, he stared back with hatred burning in his eyes, vowing that if he ever returned, he would tear them apart. And then he fell into darkness. He landed inside a cavern filled with monsters, and they rushed him instantly, tearing off his arm, ripping his body apart until only a skull remained. But something strange happened as their power was absorbed into him, red lightning crackling around bone as it regrew piece by piece, veins forming, flesh rebuilding. Yet when he stood again, he was no longer sure he was human. Memories flashing in his mind of his mother in a hospital bed, the bully's mocking smile. The endless pain and rage swallowed what was left of his humanity as he punched the ground and roared for revenge, drawing more monsters. And for 3 long years he fought in that hell, surviving on hatred alone. 3 years later, at a grand ability conference, the 3 bullies, now famous rising stars, were being interviewed, and when asked about the incident years ago, the Diamond Man pretended to regret it, saying he had lost control of his power when he was young. But suddenly, the ground shattered and a terrifying creature appeared, striking him with a single blow that sent him flying. Lightning struck the creature, but it did nothing, and in one swift motion, the Lightning Man's head burst like fruit, silence freezing the air, and the monster stepped forward with killing intent. Remembering his mother turned into a living vegetable, and the laughter from years ago declaring that today they would all die, the Earth Manipulator tried to trap him in stone, but it exploded instantly, and he crushed that man as well. And when the Diamond Boy struck him from behind, his crystal fist shattered against the creature's skull, so he unleashed a storm of diamond spears that pierced sliced through the monster's body, thinking it was over. But the figure rose again, bit through his diamond arm and tore it apart. And as he tried to flee, he was pierced by his own crystal spear. And when the monster tore the bone mask from his face, the Diamond Man saw the truth, that this nightmare was the boy he once bullied. And all 5 years of hatred erupted at once. Yet as Ah Hao stood in the blood, he did not feel joy. Because before coming here, he had visited the hospital, looking at his unmoving mother and feeling guilt crushing his heart. And he cried out to the sky after finishing his revenge, only for a calm voice behind him to ask how it felt. And when the man mentioned the red gate from 5 years ago, Ah Hao's rage flared again until the stranger calmly said he could save his mother, introducing himself as the head of the Korean Hunter Association, the only S-rank healer in the world, claiming her survival all these years was not just the hospital's effort, explaining how hunters had grown stronger than nuclear weapons, how wormholes became gateways used by nations for secret wars, how global peace had collapsed and invasions were happening through portals, and that if Ah Hao hunted enemies inside wormholes, it would avoid open war, so the deal was simple. He would become a feared monster to eliminate foreign threats, and in return his mother would be healed. And as Ah Hao looked at his mother's photo, the light in his eyes slowly returned, even knowing he was only a pawn, because for her, this was the only path left. In that twisted cherry blossom hunter's space, a group of sakura hunters had just finished a hunt when their eyes turned ugly, and they surrounded a beautiful girl from their own team, their smiles changing into something filthy. One fire-type hunter pinning her down and raising flames to burn away her clothes. And just as she struggled in fear, his head rolled off his shoulders clean and sudden, and the one who cut it down was Ah Hao, stepping out like a silent demon, and the remaining hunters attacked at once, their flashy abilities crashing into him. But the fire did not even scorch his skin. A blade struck his body only to snap in half, and in return, Ah Hao severed that hunter's head as well, before the last two could even react. Their throats were slit in a blink, and then he walked toward the trembling girl, looking less like a human and more like a tired god of death. And she tried to act weak and pitiful, saying he must be a good person and begging to be spared, but in the next second, a bone blade flashed and she fell too because Ah Hao had already abandoned being human. And from that day on, no Sakura hunter who entered that space ever returned alive. The leader of the Sakura hunters, known as Black Hunt, sensed something wrong and sent only one S-rank hunter to investigate, because she believed one was enough, and that hunter was the #1 on the Sakura ranking, proud and unmatched, named Sword Moon. And when someone who secretly liked her suggested she bring teammates, she coldly told them to get lost, stepping alone into the dimensional gate and slaughtering every ugly beast inside with effortless precision, until she reached the deepest part where the missing hunters lay as corpses piled high. And atop that mountain of bodies sat an unknown humanoid monster, and Sword Moon released killing intent and struck downward with her blade. But when steel hit bone, she was surprised at its unnatural hardness. Realizing this creature might actually entertain her for a moment, Ah Hao countered. She dodged smoothly and drove him back with a punch, drawing her sword and unleashing triple slashes, sparks exploding as their weapons clashed, 5 strikes against 5 techniques. And just as their blades neared each other's heads, she pulled back and severed his arm, then accelerated her sword speed into a terrifying flurry that decapitated him cleanly. And she mocked him, wondering how Sakura hunters died to such trash. But as Ah Hao's remaining head rolled in the dirt, he remembered his mother still waiting, and his perfect healing activated again. And just as Sword Moon sheathed her blade, he rose once more, crawling with broken bones and biting through her leg with madness in his eyes, her scream echoing through the dimension before she sliced his mouth away and summoned a crescent magic array beneath her feet, unleashing her ultimate technique, Moon Shadow Frenzy, sword marks carving the entire space apart. And she believed no one could survive that. But a bone spike pierced her other leg, and in the darkness, a blood-red demon crawled out, making her step back in rare fear, though pride forced her to fight on. And 3 days later, when Black Hunt gathered elites to investigate her disappearance, a severed head was thrown out of the portal, and Ah Hao stepped through like a nightmare, splitting Black Hunt's head in two before she reformed in a strange motion and slammed him with a volcanic punch that melted his body to liquid, revealing her true identity as the rank 0 SSS Hunter, Red Demon, a magma wielder beyond all others. Yet even melted, he stood again through sheer will, shocking even her, while 2 hunters rushed forward only to be killed instantly, and Red Demon roared for everyone to retreat because she would handle this monster herself. Years ago, she had taken in a freezing child from the streets, raising and training Sword Moon like her own, and now rage burned in her heart as she struck Ah Hao with magma fists that blasted him through the air and pierced his chest, then charged a devastating magma cannon that scorched the land black, leaving only charred earth and shattered bone. But he rose again from the fire, and Red Demon's killing intent erupted, remembering how Sword Moon once promised to stand by her even if it meant death, even asking one day to call her father after her dream was fulfilled. And she had told her she already saw her as a son and never wanted her to die, and now that son was gone. The battlefield turned into a volcanic sea as Red Demon entered her final form, magma swallowing Ah Hao again and again, burning him to skeleton, crushing him under relentless force. And after after a world-shaking barrage, she reverted, leaving him broken in molten rock, ordering her lover Blue Crystal, an ice ability user, to seal him, and Blue Crystal spread freezing energy that fused lava into obsidian, trapping Ah Hao within, unaware that far away the diamond man he hated was being revived by healers. But as Red Demon prepared to leave Ah Hao's hand clawed upward, bones snapping and reforming as he cracked the seal and restored himself piece by piece, proving again he was an undying monster, and Blue Crystal trembled while Red Demon ordered everyone away and plunged down alone to fight him, even though Blue Crystal knew her body was already worn from countless wars, because after monsters diminished, nations turned their hunters toward each other, planning ability wars to dominate Earth, and Red Demon dreamed of conquering neighboring countries to give her nation strength, swearing she would fight at the front so no Sakura hunter would die while she lived. And now she unleashed world-shattering punches on Ah Hao, severing his limbs and crushing his skull, the battle growing more horrifying as volcanoes erupted around them, Blue Crystal and the others refusing to leave out of loyalty, until Red Demon dragged Ah Hao into the volcano's heart to prepare a final strike. But his scattered organs reformed above, and seeing Blue Crystal exposed, she shouted for them to run. Yet too late, Ah Hao grabbed Blue Crystal, half frozen yet still dragging him into the lava abyss, hunters attacking desperately while Red Demon readied another magma cannon. But seeing her lover in danger, she withdrew the attack and shattered Ah Hao's arm to rescue him. And in that single choice, Ah Hao found his opening and smashed Red Demon's head apart, though she tried to regenerate and the hunter's attacks rained down. At the last second, Ah Hao forced Blue Crystal's hand against her head, freezing it solid, and as ice shattered under impact, Ah Hao was torn apart again by the others. And when the survivors rushed to Blue Crystal, he stood in shock, tears falling as he stared at Red Demon's frozen brain that could no longer regenerate, realizing he had killed the one he loved with his own power. And before despair could even settle, Ah Hao's body reformed once more, rising again from ruin like a curse that refused to end. He stepped toward Blue Crystal with slow, heavy steps, and in Blue Crystal's broken, hopeless eyes, he saw the end coming. The blade rose and fell, and in that last fading second, Blue Crystal suddenly opened his eyes again and saw Black Hunt lying there unharmed, looking at him with worry, and he threw his arms around the one he loved, whispering that he had just had a terrible nightmare where they all died, telling him not to worry because he was still here, and they held each other tightly. But it was only the final illusion before death, the last flicker of his life, because in reality all he saw were the scattered corpses and the severed head of his lover, and facing Ah Hao like a demon god, he understood they had lost. So in his final moment, he froze himself together with Black Hunt, choosing to die beside him in silence. And when the slaughter ended, Ah Hao returned to the dimensional space as if nothing had happened. Far away in the Korean territory, the diamond man who survived walked into a chamber filled with magic crystals, a female hunter telling him he did not need to push himself since he was the only one who still had signs of life when they found him. And as for his friends, he calmly replied that he already knew they were dead, staring at the crystals and remembering Ah Hao, the trash he once played with who had crawled out of the bloodgate and killed him, humiliation burning in his chest, something he could not tolerate. And when he removed his coat, the hunter behind him gasped at the seal carved across his back, asking if he was about to release it, because his true identity was the guildmaster of the Ren Kang Guild. And as the seal broke his power, returned to its peak, S-rank hunter, the Bloody Diamond Hand, Jin Fan, and he summoned all members of his guild, shocking everyone who thought he had died, until the intelligence chief stepped forward, reporting that the monster had left the dimensional space after massacring Sakura hunters and was now under the control of the Changdong Guild's new leader, Kenny. And Jin Fan stepped down coldly, asking if Kenny was not just a vice leader, only to be told he had become guildmaster of the strongest guild and they could not bypass him so easily. And in the next instant, Jin Fan's blade flashed and the chief's head fell. Yet he did not die immediately, and Jin Fan asked with icy rage what use they were if they could not kill one monster. And even as the man begged for another chance, Jin Fan had no patience left, twisting a hunter's body into a spiral midair with his evolved diamond power, slaughtering his own useless subordinates in a blink until only the healing vice master remained alive. Because he knew that even after killing a 3S hunter, Ah Hao was beyond his current strength and his own nation could not help him anymore. So he decided to go to Russia for greater power. Meanwhile, Kenny had already been waiting at the gate, and Ah Hao returned after completing the massacre as promised. So Kenny personally treated his mother, and though her injuries were severe, as the only S-rank healer he assured that with daily treatment she could recover within a week. But when Kenny left the hospital room, he collapsed from exhaustion, and Ah Hao thanked him, asking why he cared about a monster like him. And Kenny placed Ah Hao's hand on his chest, saying, "Because you have value," then tried to channel healing into him, but Ah Hao pulled away in discomfort, and Kenny smiled faintly, confirming his suspicion that Ah Hao's body was not just a mutated ability, but something born from the Bloodgate, the name they gave those red dimensional spaces.